I've avoided talking about this for a few reasons, because it has been very touch and go on this front, and what I'm referring to is Drake's his upcoming album, Iceman, that's about to drop, where it feels like over the last 2 years about, we've gotten a lot of references to this Iceman album, and it feels like a lot of it has fell flat. We obviously have a date that has been we have talked about marketing and music and if they're doing a good job or a bad job of this. I think we've touched on the Drake Iceman rollout from time to time, and this latest one with the Ice Block live and all the live streamers in Canada going to it and everything like that is the latest version of this, and then we finally get the date. My first question for you is, where is your excitement level currently for a new Drake solo project? And before you answer, mine was high because I think that it's time for him to like put up or shut up in a way. But I almost feel like he missed an opportunity to light the world on fire when somebody like found that date. I almost wanted it to be like the next day
Same.
and him just light the world on fire. And it feels like it kind of the hype died down a little bit. No singles have been released. I know Scary Hours 4 has been like teased for this weekend, but it feels like the hype has died down off the back of that like ice block idea. Where are you at with your excitement level on this?
Before I answer that, the ice block piece of it, I think it was cool, but I do agree with you. I think it would have been better if it was like they those streamers like cut into it and it was like tomorrow, like releasing tomorrow or like releasing tonight at midnight. Like that would have been, regardless of the day that they got into it, regardless of it being like a Thursday afternoon or like a Friday or Saturday, whatever. Like it would have just been like, it would have been sick if he had it ready to go, like on ice. And whenever somebody opened that thing, it was all right. You got it. It's out now. Like that would have been sick. So I think that
It
was a
would
missed opportunity.
The world would have been lit on fire if that
Yeah,
happened.
I think that was a missed opportunity. But regardless, I haven't really heard of any like. All the only like the snippet stuff that I keep hearing is like the AI stuff that's on Twitter, and that's a whole nother conversation. That sucks. But I'm really excited about this project. I think he has like a lot to prove, and I'm just so hopeful that there's just like no Kendrick references or beef references or like anything like that. Like there was a Rolling Stone article that came out talking about how like they want insight on what happened, and almost it's going to be inevitable that there will be insight on it. I just hope that nothing on here is like rekindling any beef with anything, because I just think that that would be like make me feel as if he needs to close the yearbook. What I think I need is just like I just need classic Drake. I just need like the best versions of him, whether it is like the R&B version, the rap version. Like I'm even okay with like some of the like Afrobeat stuff. I just need like the best version of him on this album. That is what
Can
my
I give
expectations
you
are.
can I give you like the way that I could rationalize him speaking about, like, let's just say Kendrick or the beef in its totality in any way, shape, or form. And the way that I think that he can do that is from like a reflective
Yes.
spot, where what lessons he could have potentially learned from this. Where did he like misstep? Where did he make the wrong moves? What did he learn from it? I think from that perspective, I think that it could be very interesting to hear what he has to say about it at that point. But I'm with you. I don't want to hear any pokes or anything like that, because it's just kind of like, at the end of the day, from the Kendrick Lamar situation, that was just, it got out of hand. He got bodied, and then he turned around and like tried to sue a music label. It got thrown out, and it was just like L after L after L for Drake, and he just kind of became like a punching bag in a sense. And it's like, that's fine to take L's. Everybody does, but it's really about, like you said, like, how do you bounce back from this? Can you make this like a very concise, very great project? And can you talk about those L's that you've taken in like a reflective manner, and like how you've learned from those mistakes? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, that was the beef. If he like, hey, listen, I really like the Family Matters song. I think it's really good. He bodied a lot of people on it, but he had the hit dropped on top of his head in this entire situation. He got called probably one of the worst things that you can call somebody at the Super Bowl in front of like probably one of the biggest audiences that you can ever do. He just kind of got his name and his everything about him thrown through the mud. And then that whole like I referenced that weird lawsuit with UMG and shit like that, where it was just like, dude, Drake, like, please just stop for all of us. Like, we don't want to hear about this
Yeah.
shit anymore. So I do think that there is a lane for it, but I'm right with you. I'm really over this beef shit with from Drake, honestly.
Yeah, I think reflection is like the perfect way to go about it if you are Drake. I think that you hit the nail on the head where it's like you can talk about it, how it made you feel. Like, I think that we will get that. I really do. I think that that is the type of thing that we will hear in this album, but it has to be in a way of like you said, this is where I went wrong. Like, I want to move on from this type of thing. Like, this I learned a lot from these last few years, but don't forget that I'm still the best ever at this shit. Like, that's what I
Yeah.
want to hear when this drops in 2 weeks. Um, but another thing that I want to make sure is I want this to be primarily Drake. I'm fine with a very small list of features, but I think we texted about this. I don't want Sexy Red on there. I don't want
No.
Tizo Touchdown on there. I I don't want um I mean
No
SZA
goofy shit.
wasn't SZA on one on his
I don't
last
no
one.
listen, no goofy
I
shit.
I don't want it. The this is the acceptable list of features that I will allow. Future, Young Thug,
Travis,
and Travis
Thug,
Scott.
Wayne, no.
If Wayne wants to hop on it on the track, so be it. I don't know. I wouldn't have that as an expectation. I would expect. I don't know what's going on with the Future situation because there was some clips going
I
out.
think that yeah, I was about to say, I think it's pretty much like go like you I think it's confirmed, like, you know what I mean? Like, read through the tea
Yeah,
leaves a little bit that he's on it, because he dropped an Instagram video of him
yeah.
rapping in the booth, and he was wearing like the Nocta, and it was literally like a black pullover with like a little tiny Nocta sign on the back. So you and that's Drake's brand. So you have to sit there and think like that's clearly curated. That's
It was a
clearly
Nocta commercial, basically.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty much like this is what's going to happen. So like it's one of those things, like, read through the tea leaves. I think we could pretty much guarantee a future collab on this album.
Listen, we need that more now than ever.
Yeah, I'm
We
with
need
you.
that more now than we have ever needed it before. And if we are somehow blessed with that, then I think we're going to be in good standing with this album. But I I'll allow. I think we're gonna. I don't. I'm not sure what we're going to get with these like snippets that came out. I'm not sure about like are those single are the three songs that we kind of like played along the way during this rollout. I feel like we should expect those to be on there.
I wanted
Like
to
the
talk
Central
about
C
that.
song, I'm not really sure how to wrap my head around those or if those were
So
just
so
like things
so
to get you excited about.
I think this comes back to like the marketing and rollout conversation as a whole, because where at times I've like praised this rollout, which, like, privately I've done it, like, in the same breath you can criticize the rollout as well, where it's so spaced out. Like, the live
Yeah.
streams are so spaced out. If ever And then same thing with like these ice blocks. Like, if every and like the game, like the Raptors game where his seats
Yeah.
were frozen and stuff like that. If all
They
of
just
this was done,
changed the Drake related website so everything's like all iced over now.
And I guess where I'm coming from with this is like, if this was done all in like uniformity in a way where it was like back to back to back to back to back, boom, single, boom, music video, boom, album,
Yeah.
everybody would be like, you know what it would be like, "Oh my god."
Mhm.
Really where I think that this falls flat in a way where, like, I like the idea of the live stream. I like the idea of all this stuff because it's incorporating new ways to market music.
Yeah.
I really every single song that has come out so far hasn't been great. And that's I think that that's a complete and I've tried to like it. I think that's a fair critique of like the music. It's not anything amazing. It's not something that would knock your socks off. I think that he tested the waters with this music to see what people would think. And I think if one of those songs really popped off, like really, really popped off, we would have saw that on the album to kind of boost and inflate those like first week numbers and those first week streams and all of that stuff. I mean, that's a classic move that is done all the time by artists. But I don't think any of those songs have done real enough damage to like warrant that. So for I want you to comment on two things is like what have you thought about the music that's been released so far and where do you expect of like the rollout where it's not a the idea is there. I love it. It's more I'm critiquing the execution of this where if it was more like boom 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 into the lead up of the album, I feel like the hype for the album would be like at an all-time high.
Yeah, so I'll touch on the music first. I think "What Did I Miss" is good. Like, I still have that in my, like, rap playlist, and I'll still listen to
Yeah.
that one. The "Which One" with Central C, it's it's whatever. It, like, if it comes on, I'm not necessarily gonna skip it, but I'm not actively searching it out. I feel like the general consensus is that um, the like shorter snippets of the songs when he's driving in the truck and in the car, I think those did much better to people than the two full singles that came out. I think a lot of people were more excited about potentially the song National Treasure coming out than these other two singles that were already dropped. Um, I think that the rollout itself, it was if it was just more compact, like you said, I think it would be so much better. I liked the concepts of all of the or of all of the videos that he put out. I'm seeing now that he's recording music videos. I've seen a couple different
I saw that
like
too, yes.
shoots, which
And like the
is
explosion and stuff like that.
the explosion. There was literally just a picture or a video of him standing like on the back of a truck with this like 2013 Mew Mew baby blue jacket and these like white uh chrome hearts jeans
Yeah.
um for another music video. And then I saw a clip maybe earlier this week of what appeared to be him like on top of the CN Tower, potentially recording for a video. So it does seem like that's all in full effect, and I think that that is great. I just wish that like the first part of this would have been within the last like 2 months rather than the past 5. So like I
Well,
think the whole
it's been way longer than 5, but
I
I'm
know,
with
I
you.
can't remember exactly how long ago those
Yeah.
came out, but, like, you get my point. It's like, those needed to be those videos needed to be out within the last 3 months, and then um, the we should have gotten those, and then we should have gotten, the clips of him filming music videos, and then we should have gotten the Raptors frozen chair, and then we should have gotten the, ice blocks with the album date in it, and then the album being like right now. That's how this should have played out
Bro,
in a
bro,
perfect world.
if all jokes aside, I think that if he's surprise drop an album, which he has done before, I mean, he's done it with if you're reading this, it's too late. Like, if he just surprise dropped that album, I mean, holy
Yeah,
shit. Like
it would
the
have been
world
awesome.
would
Would have
have lit
stopped.
on
Everyone would have stopped and been
fire.
like, "Holy fuck, what just happened?" Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been a massive moment that I feel like a moment that like music. I know a lot of people. I like the music that's been coming out. That's probably a whole different conversation to be had. I know everybody kind of like loves to. Everybody seems to just love to hate everything
Yeah.
nowadays. I actually kind of like all the music that comes out. I think Don makes really good music. Like my one homie who hates on everything, he texted me. It was like, why he said, "Damn, I actually have been sleeping on Don." I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been
We've been
telling you
talking
that
about
for
him
like
for what, 2 years, 3 years.
yeah, we've been talking about him for like forever. Like it's like you need to catch it. Like when Heartstone Psycho dropped, I was literally like, yeah, Don's a guy. Like he like
Yeah.
this is like fire." So I think that like everybody loves to hate on it, and I think that like that moment that people have been like chasing in their minds and online, it like could have been achieved for a lot of people if like he surprise dropped this album. And honestly, I get it. Like I understand that like these quote unquote like first week sales or whatever matter or whatever. For
Yeah.
Drake, he's gonna get those numbers no matter what. So I would have liked to
It's gonna be
honestly see
500K.
I would it doesn't even matter. It like I would have loved to see him kind of throw that ideology out and like capture like a real moment in time with this album where it was like, oh my gosh, like he's back pretty much.
I think a lot of the hate is because of us not getting, like, an album from I mean, we got a Kanye album, but people we've talked about this before where it's like, people want something brand new every month from these
Yeah.
artists, and that's not realistic. Like, maybe Future was the one that ruined everybody by putting out like 3 albums in like a day and a half, and
And they were
everybody's
like
like, "Okay,
incredible.
well, why yeah, why can't well, if Future can do this in 48 hours, why can't anybody else?" And maybe that's what has skewed like everybody's mindset on this whole album release process. But aside from Kanye, like, we haven't gotten a Drake album, a solo Drake album in a minute. We haven't gotten a Future album in a minute. Like, Young Thug just got out of jail. He hasn't put anything out yet. Travis has put out when did his last album come out? In 20
It's
20.
2022
Okay, it's been a minute for Travis.
in a
So like,
while. Yeah.
we haven't gotten these solo albums from like the big name guys. It's been a lot of like, not I don't filler's not the fair word to say, because they have been good projects, but they just haven't been like the main stage of what we're looking for. Like, Jack Boys 2 came out and there's good stuff on there, but like, unless you're fully
I love Jack
interested,
Boys too. I still don't
well,
understand why people hated that so much.
it's because people don't. I think if you're not fully invested into it and you see like Travis is on it with like a bunch of other random people that you might not be super familiar with, like, you might almost like go away from it. I don't.
Excuse me, Utopia was released in 2023, in July 2023.
Okay, so it's been going on 3 years
Yeah.
in 2 months. So like, my point is we just haven't gotten an album from one of these big names in a while besides Kanye, and people have already
Well,
moved on from that. So
I just personally, and I've always said this. I
yeah,
think it's important for everybody to take time on these releases. I don't think that
they
like
should.
I don't think anybody should be in that overly big of a rush to drop anything. And like Travis, for example, Travis has dropped a ton of stuff like throughout this like course of time. Like he dropped Jack Boys 2. He's dropped multiple singles that have been like mainstays. Like 4x4, for example, was like the college football song. It was
Yeah,
the Monday Night
WWE.
Raw song forever. Like it was just like there's people that are dropping stuff. It's just like what I don't know what people are exactly looking for, but to tie this back into the entire the Drake conversation in totality is like correct. Everybody is itching for a Drake album for multiple reasons. One, he everybody wants to see either can he bounce back from one of the like his first public L pretty much ever as an
Hmm.
artist. And what does that sound like? Because I think that like the what I know that people like sexy songs for you. I'm not against it in any way, shape, or form. For me, I felt like it was a tone deaf take on where he was currently at in his career, where it was like, that's not the time for a Party Next Door collab album. The next thing was something that I always critiqued him for, was like, dude, Drake's too available. Drake is doing songs with everybody. He's like on too many live streams, like people see him too much. And what did he do in the last year and a half? Pretty much has gone ghost.
Yeah, he's
And
been on some live streams, very few, but like I would say within the I'd say like 8 months probably. Yeah, about a year.
he's been very low key and has completely shifted his focus, because I think that he did start to realize that he might be a little bit too overexposed. And what, like I said, scarcity increases demand. Like when you pull back everything and you pull back the music and you pull back Drake, now you're sitting around a year later and people are sitting here excited to hear this new Drake album. I think it comes with some skepticism in a way, where people are like waiting to hear like how he could potentially bounce back from all of this. And one I think that there's also a fair critique that his last few projects haven't been up to standard in a way of like what could be a possible Drake classic. And I personally deep down think that this will be his most concise, focused piece of music, like album that he's put out, probably since like, realistically, probably since like 2018, 2017.
I mean, I hope so. I You see like the Joe Buttons and the academics kind of like talking about it. Certain people have heard certain things about the album so far, and kind of the mode per se that he's in for this album, and I try to take that with like a grain of salt, because those guys are getting paid to like talk about things like this. And so you could really say anything you want about how you felt about a Drake album if you're at that level, and it will generate some type of response. Um, but I hope those guys are right that have heard bits and pieces of this, that kind of know where he is and how he's about to be
Dude,
moving on this album. And
I got some bad news. As we're recording this, this is breaking news. Drake just posted on Instagram, and
oh no, that doesn't sound good. Oh,
it's
there it is.
look
A one.
keep
Ice
looking,
one.
keep
Iceman
looking.
coming soon. Oh, of the third picture.
Just look at, yeah, I mean,
Oh,
look
what
at
did I
look at
miss?
this.
Iceman night shift live stream 9 p.m. Is that tomorrow? Drake broadcast himself to. Okay.
It says Iceman. So this is what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing Iceman 1, Iceman 2, Iceman 3.
Where are you seeing the two
Okay,
and the three? Oh wait, are you seeing? Oh. Okay. I literally was just looking at this one.
go to his whole feed.
I'm
Show
on his
the whole
Instagram now.
show the whole feed on your Instagram currently, because it's pretty clear. This is breaking. Drake, no, there his feed. Show his whole feed. Like, go to his page. So this is breaking news as of right now, where, okay, I was worried. Somebody texted me and said that it's going to be a 3-disc album, but it looks like, I don't know what this says. It says episode 1 and then it says episode 4 May 14th. So it's looking like May 14th is going to be maybe the last. When's the release date of the album officially?
The 15th.
So that's going to be the last live stream before the album drops.
Yeah, it'll probably be like a live stream into the album dropping.
That's a W.
Dude, you want to know what I actually really miss? I had genuinely I had such a love for when Drake would go on like OVO Sound Radio, and would it would be like him and 40, and they would just play music from like 9 p.m. until the album dropped, and then he would just like talk about all this stuff, like talk about like, oh, there's this artist, like basically like um how he like puts people on with single like with features. He would basically be doing this without actually going through and putting a verse on a song. He would just be putting a playlist together, and him and 40 would just be like in the studio for like 5 hours, and it was awesome. It actually was very like it felt like you were sitting there with them. It was really cool, and I really loved how they used to do that. And he would go through and he would play music like, "Oh, this is somebody that I've really loved to listen to. Like they're doing like they're doing this, this, and this." Like, and it would be some people that you might not have heard of, and then it would maybe be like a future song where like everybody would love, and it's like, "Oh yeah, like this song absolutely rips." And then 12 o'clock would roll around, and he would be like, I'm drunk right now. Like, I got to get out of here. I appreciate you guys coming in and listening to this. Here you go." And then they would just play the album, and then it would be released on like Apple Music or whatever. I thought that was some of the best rollouts possible. I thought that was like such an intimate, like connection almost that you don't necessarily feel right now.
I think that I think that that's what you're gonna get on the
I hope
13th
so.
for
That
the
would be
last live
amazing.
stream.
I would hope so.
Whoever
That is my favorite form of any of this.
I apologize. Somebody texted me and said triple disc loading, and I almost puked. I was like, that's the last thing that I want. I don't want fucking 40 songs from Drake.
Like a Chris Brown album.
Yeah, like a Chris Brown album. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. So I was like, I like actually panicked. I was like, no fucking way that that's actually a thing. So listen, I am all for that. Like I'm all for the possibility of them kicking it on a live stream, maybe spinning some songs, and like obviously like rolling out the album as well. I think that would be fucking dope. I'm excited for that too. I'll be tuned in.
Yeah, they used to do that back when we were in what, probably high school. Like I remember I would
Yeah.
just throw that up on my like TV or laptop, and you could literally just like chill and have it on, and it was awesome. It was really cool to like kind of hear him talk about like the upcoming artists that he was interested in, and like the guys like he's like, "Oh, like I love this sound from this person, like she's doing phenomenal." I really love that, and if he does something similar to that for this album, and then on top of it the album itself is phenomenal, I'll stamp it as a certified classic.
Well, we'll see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's not get ahead of
I know,
ourselves.
but that just actually fired me up.
Yeah, I'm equally excited as well. I would love there's been we went through me and my one boy went through the Drake discography one night to just like talk about like what are classics and what are not, and like really I think that he has. I said Take Care is a classic. I I would argue like I love Nothing Was the Same, but Started from the Bottom is just such a dog shit song to me that I think that it kind of ruins it in a way where it's like almost perfect. I think If You're Reading This, It's Too Late is perfect. And I don't know. I think that that's probably it. I know that I think that it's probably universally agreed upon though that Take Care and Nothing Was the Same are probably certified classics. Um, I would also get on board for that, but I would also add in If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. I think that's his best
That's
work.
your favorite. That's your favorite one.
Yeah, I think that's a true I don't think that there's one miss on If You're Reading This, It's Too Late at all. I think that you could argue on like Take Care. I'm trying to think.
Views.
Nah. No, I don't think that Take Care has any misses on it, honestly. Maybe the motto on the fucking is the motto on this one? Yeah,
Okay,
take the
but
motto.
when that
That's the below.
came out though, that
No.
had people moving.
No, no.
That really did though.
Don't
It did.
Don't
Hate
say
it,
that.
hate it all you want. It might not have the same feeling now. Like it doesn't have the same like feeling
Okay,
now
real
listening
question
to
then.
it, but at the
Real,
time,
real
but that
question.
doesn't
What
mean that
about
means
started
it's
from
not
the
a
bottom?
classic.
What
Oh,
about started
that's
from the
like the
bottom?
same that falls in the same category as the motto to me, where it's like at the time, people were bumping those songs.
Who was bumping started from the bottom?
Bro, that
Who
was
are we
on
with?
every single high school like sport playlist I ever heard.
Well, that's the problem with the song.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like at the time, those songs
It was on the
were
2K
like
track list.
okay. I'm saying at the time, listening to those songs, they were like some of the best. I'm not saying they're that now.
I also think Views is dangerously close to a classic, but Hotline Bling is one of the worst songs Drake has ever made. So I feel like that has to get held against him a little bit. And there's some on here that I don't like love overall, but I think that Views is dangerously close to being a classic Drake album as well.
For having 20 songs on it,
It's insane.
let me let me just look here. I mean, it's gotten to the point where albums, I mean, you gotta give it to him. Drake's putting like 20 songs on all these albums.
Can we talk about
And
this run real quick? Keep the family close. 9, You With Me, Feel No Ways, Hype, Western Road
yeah.
Flows, Redemption, With You, Faithful, Still Here. And then I don't like Controlla. I don't like One Dance. Grammys is fire. I don't like Child's Play. I don't like Pop Style. I don't like Too Good. And then Fire, Desire, and Views should be the outro, but they added fucking Hotline Bling to it for whatever reason. But Views is like one of my favorite Drake songs ever. So yeah, I mean this
Hotline
this
Bling did like
album,
10 zillion streams.
that's not the conversation about how many
I know that.
streams it got. That song is
I
dog
know.
shit.
I
There's no
know.
denying that.
I'm just saying like those songs are like significant in the grand scheme of the Drake zeitgeist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not success. It's always that's the conversation. I'm not saying that you do it. That like if like this gets into like a wrong comment section of like Drake fans,
Right.
like I'm not denying that Drake is the most successful artist of all time. I'm not
No,
denying that
yeah.
like I don't like radio hits. Like that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's a hot
Yeah,
take.
that's what that is. That's exactly what Hotline Bling is. But you don't get to a zillion streams if you don't have a radio hit.
100%.
And
All right.
that's okay.
And I think as of now, I think that we will obviously we'll probably talk about this a little bit more. We'll probably watch the live stream. We'll probably listen to the album and we'll probably tell you our thoughts about the album as well. But it's a good conversation to finally have because there is a timeline on this. There is a date that's finally here. So we are getting Iceman by Drake very soon.
We have reached the countdown for the album. And we are at what? 9 days. I'm looking for like actual hours. Okay. 8 days, 197 hours, 11,836 minutes, 710,195 seconds. You pick your poison.
I can't wait.
I just spit it. Good girl, we're getting paper as a passion. Collect the stacks and bring it back, man. It takes